stuff at you, things that you might want to write down for future reference, to relive, to reread, to use however you want. Like Coach Guido said, some people have emailed me before asking me to regurgitate some of the information, which I've emailed them, but we're going to email it. But take in what you want to take in about this. So you're going to hear me get loud, you're going to hear me get quiet. There's going to be angry times, there's going to be sad times, there's going to be a lot thrown at you. So take it all in, all right? So, I am Coach Moore, as you guys know me. I currently coach at SUNY Geneseo, and I've got a couple different years of experiences with other teams. So I'm going to share some of those experiences with you. I've coached at the high school level. I've coached at 3 different colleges in my time as a coach. Currently, I don't know how many of you know this. You might know it already. I'm a triathlete. I compete in triathlons, specifically of the Ironman type. That is my thing that I do. And for those of you who don't know what an Ironman is, a full Ironman is 140.6 total miles, but it's 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a marathon, 26.2 miles, all consecutively, no breaks in between. That's what I train for. A lot of people ask me, like, how do you do that? What motivates you? What keeps you going to train all of that? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And this summer I'm going to be doing the Lake Placid Ironman, which is a world qualifier, a world championship qualifier, and that's my goal, is to qualify for the world championships, which is at Kona, Hawaii. I've competed in the world championships for the half Ironman 2 years ago. I competed in Las Vegas. That one rotates around now. The past one was in Canada. Next year is going to be in Germany. I may go back to the half, but I'm focusing on the full Ironman right now, and that's my goal. And I'll explain to you what motivates me to do that in a little bit. And so now I'll begin. How many of you in high school have taken some sort of speech class? I know some of them do, some offer. I've taken one before. I'm not much of a public speaker. It's not something I do regularly. So I've taken some of those things from that class and try to incorporate it in here. And one of the things that they say is, like, after an introduction, to get the audience's attention. They said one way to do that is by telling a joke. So, let me tell you this. This is no laughing matter. I'm not here to tell jokes right now, okay? This is not a laughing matter. I despise second place. I'm not here to tell jokes, like I said. I'm here to pick a fight. I'm here to pick a fight with second place. I have as much patience for second place as I do a broken leg. But some people might like a broken leg. They might like sitting on the sidelines. They might like second place. Not me. I despise second place. Ask any championship team who just lost the championship game what they feel about second place. I don't think you're going to get much out of them. You're going to get upset. You're going to get sadness. You're going to get tears. They're not going to want to talk. I despise second place. I hate it. I hope that resonates with you. You still want to hear a joke? Knock, knock. Second place.
Second place who?
Exactly. Who remembers second place? Nobody. Okay. I hope that kind of got your attention. I'm not here to talk about winning in first place. First place isn't always going to be doable. I'm here to talk about success. Success and winning for one person is going to be very different than another. Success and winning for you could be trying your best each and every day. Some of you, success will be being county champions. Some of you, success will be being sectional champion or state champion or qualifying for nationals. Whatever your success is, do not settle for anything less than that. That is what we call second place. Do not settle for anything less. So we're going to talk about how to be successful. This whole camp we've been talking about training the body, what to put in our body, how much sleep to get, how much nutrition, what to eat, the different percentages. We've talked about training, we've talked about ancillary training, small things that we can do to make us better at what you want to do. Every one of you in here are runners. So it's the small things. All the small little things add up. So, why would you skip out on that workout? Why would you cheat on that meal? Why would you stay up a little extra and miss some sleep? All of those are small pieces of the puzzle that make the whole picture. It's cumulative. Day to day becomes week to week. Week to week becomes month to month. Month to month becomes year to year. You skip out on that one workout, you take one piece of that puzzle out. Now you don't have the same big picture. You decide to miss a workout. You decide that, oh, I'm too sick, I'm too hurt. Now there's a difference between hurt and injured. There's a difference between not feeling well and sick. So don't confuse that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But these little things that you take out of your training are pieces taken out of the big picture. You have to illustrate your big picture. Is that this year? Is that going into college? Post-collegiately? It all adds up. Start illustrating your own picture now. Start drawing it out. All of you are here right now because you want that opportunity to be the best. Carpe diem. Seize the day. You guys are here. You're doing that. Keep going with it. I want to try to give you the tools to be able to do that. Take every opportunity because guess what? Time waits for no one. Time waits for no one. You're only given the moment now, what you have right here and right now. You can't relive a moment. Once it's gone, and you're not guaranteed anything in front of you. So take every opportunity, every advantage that you can to become the better version of yourself. I have a story to share with you. A lot of my inspiration, my material, my motivation, I got to give credit where credit is due, is Eric Thomas, and Les Miles. They're motivational speakers. They're big YouTube sensations. They're great guys to look up and if you need it. So I highly encourage you to check those guys out. But one of my favorite speeches was given by Eric Thomas. And it's about a success guru. So I'm going to share that story with you now. There's an average individual who wants to become successful. So he looks up this success guru, very well known, very successful, and he set up an appointment with a guy, with a success guru. The success guru says, I'll meet you at the beach, 4 a.m. in the morning. I'll see you there. The guy's like, okay. Early bird gets the worm. I'm going to wake up and get early. I better dress for success. I'm going to put on my suit, my tie, my jacket. He's buttoned up to the nines. So he walks down there. He's a little bit early. And there's the success guru down on the beach. He meets him there, shakes his hand. The guy says, you want to learn how to be successful? The guy said, yes, that's why I'm here. He said, walk out into the water. He's looking down. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've got $300 pair of shoes on. I've got this expensive suit. But if this is what it's going to take for me to be successful, all right, I'll do it. So he walks out in the water. It's ankle deep. The guy says, you want to be successful? You want to learn what it takes? The guy's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. Walk out in the water with me a little bit further. Now the guy is waist deep. So you still want to learn how to be successful? The guy said, yeah, that's why I'm here, right? Walk out a little bit further. Now he's up to his chest. Now this guy's thinking, man, this guy's crazy. What's going on? He's about ready to turn around. The guy says, you want to learn how to be successful? You're almost there. The guy says, yeah. Walk out a little further. Now he's up to his chin. Now the waves are starting to splash into his face. And just as about the guys to turn away and walk away, the guru takes his head and slams it under the water. He's holding it. The guy's thrashing around, think he's going to die. And then just before he's about to pass out, the success guru rips him out of the water. And he looks at the guy and said, what was the one thing that you wanted when I was holding your head underwater? What do you think that one thing is that he wanted? To breathe. Because you want to learn how to be successful, you need to want success as bad as you want to breathe. And then he walked away. So that is the moral of the story for all of you. You need to want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe. When that guy's head was underwater, the only thing he wanted was oxygen, was to breathe. He didn't care about a party. He didn't care about what was on TV. He didn't care about what he was going to eat that night. The only thing that mattered in that moment was to be able to breathe. And that's what you need to learn about how to be successful, is in the moment, the only thing that can matter is what you can do to enhance yourself. So I'll give you some examples of that. It's 9 o'clock at night. You've all learned the importance of sleep. Okay? Your favorite TV show comes on. Can't miss it. Girls, it's The Bachelor. Oh no, we gotta see who's he's gonna kick off next. Guys, I don't know. Breaking Bad, maybe. The Bachelor for this guy. The Bachelorette, whatever. And you can't turn it off. But, are you gonna do that? Seize the moment. Do you want to be that sectional champion? Do you want to be that state champion, whatever? What's it going to be worth? An hour of your favorite TV show or an hour of sleep? You guys have to decide that. Your biggest competition in this world is yourself. It's you against you. It's really not you against the opponent. It's you against you. You have to make those decisions. Mom and Dad will rarely be there to help you in those tough times. Tough is relative. It's going to be tough to turn off that TV. I get that. But guess what? When you're out on that track, Mom and Dad are not there to help you. You need to learn to make those decisions on your own. Okay, it's time for bed. That phone rings. It's your boyfriend, it's your girlfriend, it's whoever. Some of you, people that aren't successful, they pick up the phone and they carry on a conversation for, who knows, an hour, 2 hours, hours into the night. You know what successful people do? They pick up that phone and say, hey, you've called the right person, but you called me at the wrong time. I'm here to win a sectional championship. Call me back in November when I'm sectional champ. And hangs up the phone and click goodbye. That's what someone that wants to only be successful does. They're living in the moment. It's kind of funny, I know, but success is a very lonely road. In track and field, there can only be one first place in your event. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You guys are already doing that right now. I applaud you. But when you go away from here, you're going to have your friends that are trying to pull you out from going to bed, that are calling you, that want you to do anything else but do the things that you need to do to be successful. You're going to have teammates on your track and field team that say, oh, why are you doing that extra rep? Why are you pushing so hard? Why are you stretching? When it's time to go home, why are you doing all this extra stuff? You cannot let that get in your head. Even your own teammates can be negative. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and if you can't, being alone is better than being pulled down. It will be a lonely road at times. We just had someone say she was waking up in the morning to go run in middle school. How many middle schoolers do that? Not a lot. I applaud you. And did you achieve your goal? Yes, she did. Hard work pays off. But here's the thing about hard work. Here's the thing about success. It will rarely come as you want it and when you want it. So what happens when you put all your time and your energy into doing what you want to do? You want it as bad as you want to breathe, but you come up short. Raise your hand if that's happened to some of you. You know what I'm going to say? Redefine your grind. You can. There's always something more that you can do. Guess what those that don't want success as bad as they want to breathe do? They say, it isn't worth it. I tried so hard, I'm quitting. I'm backing off. There's a famous quote out there that I forget who it's by, that most people don't realize how close to success they were when they quit. So as much as it stings that you didn't quite get there, keep pushing through because you don't know how close you are. And chances are you're going to be very close if you are applying everything that you have. So it's the state championship and you finish third place or second place and you didn't quite get it. Keep going. Do those extra reps. Do those extra workouts. Do those extra push-ups. Do those extra whatevers because they will add up. It's completing that whole picture. Let you define success. Do not let success define you. All too often, there are guys out there that say, I wasn't successful because I didn't reach my goal. My goal was to be a champion. I'm not a champion. But guess what? The end product should not be what it's all about. What it's all about is the journey. It's the process. It's what you've become. The character that you have built. The faith that you have manifested. The skills that you've developed along the way. It's the person that you become in the process that is what is important. And running, guys, is one of the best teachers in life about you. Get out what you put in. I can shoot basketballs until I'm blue in the face. I just was not born with the eye-hand coordination to be a gifted basketball player. But guess what? Many of you here sitting in this room ran faster PRs than I did in high school. I ran track in high school. I was not good. I was average at best. I ran track 3 months out of the year. I played soccer. I wrestled. I ran track from a small little school. No one's probably ever even heard of it. From Lakewood, New York. Fast forward it. Oh gosh. Graduated in 2002 from high school. Any math majors out there? 13 years later. I can say I've qualified and competed in a world championship. I'm going for another one. I was no different than you. Who knows Shalane Flanagan? She, at one point, held the American record in the indoor 5K. I think it was 14:47 or so at the time. I think Molly Hull has since broken it. But, okay, ladies and guys, you can do this too. Ladies, take your current 5K PR right now. Subtract a minute. What does that look like? Subtract another minute. What does that look like? Guys, from your 5K PR, what does 2 minutes off your 5K PR look like? Ladies, some of you are probably down around the 16, 15 minute area. What's the first thought in your head? Good. I like it. Most people say, I can't do that. That's too fast. Shalane Flanagan was once you guys sitting in there with your PRs. It is possible for anybody. She wasn't some exceptional runner in middle school and high school. I mean, she was a swimmer, she was a soccer player, she ran cross country and track. She worked and worked and worked. Ended up producing one of the fastest times in high school, but it wasn't anything extraordinary. But some people, when I say subtract 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, some of you 5 minutes, you're going to say, no way. There are people that have done that. That were sitting in high school, guys with 17-minute 5K runners that are running 13 minutes. It can be done if you're willing to work. And they go on and start living their life reaching for success as bad as they want to breathe. And you guys are doing that right now by being here. Okay, this is a favorite quote of mine that Eric Thomas says. I'm going to repeat this a couple times because I think it's that important. Who knows Jesse Garn? He put this on his computer screen so we'd see it when he'd wake up all the time. He goes, this quote, it changed my life. He goes, I'm glad I heard it. Jesse Garn he's a camp counselor here in the summer. He went 146.98, I think, sixth fastest time in the country for the 800, the men's 800. And he put this on his computer screen, so we saw it every day. And that is, at any moment, you need to be willing to sacrifice who you are now for who you want to become. At any moment, you have to be willing to sacrifice who you are now for who you want to become. I'll say it one more time. At any moment, you need to be willing to sacrifice who you are now for who you want to become. So I've already talked about it a little bit. It's that TV show that's on. Who you are now. I really want to watch this TV show. I gotta see what happens next. I gotta see who Mr. So-and-so picks to boot off the show for The Bachelor. I gotta see who, yeah, whatever, Mrs. So-and-so picks. Guys, some girls, you might know this. Guys, if you've heard this before, don't answer it. Who was the Super Bowl champion in 2010? We're talking 5 years ago. Anybody know? You never heard this? Nope.
The Giants.
We heard the Giants, we heard the Saints, it is the Saints. Okay, why do I bring that up? The Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event in this nation. Probably some of you in this room watched that. You don't remember. If you don't remember the biggest sporting event in this country, Why are you going to stay up to watch a TV show that doesn't even matter? You're never going to remember who so-and-so got booted off the island, who got booted off the show. Some of you are going to spend more time on Facebook scrolling through news feeds. You can't remember a football game. That's huge. You're never going to remember what they say on this news feed. You're going to spend time chatting online, texting away. You're not going to remember those conversations and what was said. Why are you going to let that take over for what you want to do, which is be the best version of yourself, be the best athlete? That's not going to help you. You have to sacrifice those things. Most high schoolers are not able to do that. I'll share a story of someone I coached in high school in a minute about the sacrifices he made and the rewards that he was able to accomplish. But you have to think about every single thing that you do. Is this going to make me better? I have some athletes that I coach, they'll say, but coach, what's wrong with watching TV? What's wrong with eating some ice cream? What's wrong with going out and hanging out with my friends? And you know what? Sometimes I don't have an answer for that. Sometimes the answer is nothing's wrong. But you know how I respond to that? I'm going to say, what's right with it? Successful people don't ask what's wrong with something. They ask what's right with it. What is right with eating that bowl of ice cream? Is it going to help you? Maybe not. Probably not. Maybe you should eat something healthier. Is it wrong to go out and hang out with your friends? No. Friends are hugely important. They're going to help you get to where you need to go. But if it's at the cost of sleep, then yes, it's what's wrong with it. Don't ask yourself what's wrong with something. Ask what's right with it. That alone can really switch a mindset to allow you to get to the next level. So I'm going to go back to that story that I have about an athlete that I coached. He was fairly gifted early on, but I'm not going to say he was the most talented runner that I've ever worked with. You guys understand personal records. As a sophomore, he ran 10 flat in the 2 mile and 4:40 in the 1600. It's pretty fast, but there are a lot faster runners in the state, a lot faster sophomores than that. As a junior, he continued to progress, continued to work. He ran 9:31 in the 3200. That was his main event. He didn't really run the mile too much. But then his 9:31, he ran at state Q's, got into the state meet, and he was in the slow heat of the 2 mile. He ended up running 9:34 at the state meet. It was a tough draw for him. But afterwards, he said, "Coach, next year I got to be in that fast heat. What can I do to be in that fast heat?" So we talked about the little things. It's what I call being a 24-hour athlete. You have to eat success. You have to drink success. You have to sleep success. You have to live success. Everything I was talking about, he started doing that. He started doing his morning runs on the day of workouts. He started waking up at 5:30 in the morning when it was pitch black outside. It was cold. He left the comfort of his own bed. He sacrificed who he was then, a little cocoon in his warm bed, for who he wanted to become, and that was a champion. He was out running at 5:30 in the morning when it's cold, it's windy, it's -degree wind chill. And I told him, so that 5:30 a.m. morning, that's the air that champions breathe. It's those that get out of bed and get out of their comfort zone. Like, if I had an easel, I don't know if there's a marker there, but I'm going to draw a circle. Training. A big circle. Is there a marker?
Should be. Is it not over there?
No. But anyways, so imagine a big circle. It's like a training. And then you got a little circle. is, or I mean, in the circle, most people live in the circle. They do their training, they do what they want, they do whatever the coach tells them to do. But how often do you see your coach? 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day? 22, 23 hours of the day that is up to you. That's where success is won. It's not won or lost on the track or on the starting line. It's what you do off the field, off the track, that makes the difference. It's what you do away from the coach. It's easy to look wonderful and look all neat and tidy in practice, and you're doing what you want to do, but what are you doing? You know, another favorite quote of mine is, a champion does what's right when no one is looking. It's easy for someone to tell a coach, yeah, I go to bed at this time of day and I get 8 hours of sleep and I'm eating right, but are they really doing that when a coach isn't looking? Champions do things well even when no one is watching. So, it's easy when you're in your comfort zone with someone looking of that 2 hours a day. Outside the big circle, outside your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. Away from it all. It's only you against you. Remember that. It's you against you. It's very, very difficult to get out of that bed and go train. It's much easier to hit that snooze alarm. So this athlete that I coached, he was doing that. He started making the changes that he needed to make. It's now his senior year. The way the school district I coached in, prom happens in the springtime. Guess what is springtime? Outdoor track and field. Specifically, the main competition period in outdoor track and field. I said being successful is often a lonely road. So it's prom. Prom's going till 11 o'clock, I think. And there's all these after prom parties. This athlete I worked with buttoned down his life so much that he had consistent sleep. It was 10 p.m. to bed, 6:30 a.m. to rise on the weekends. On the school days, it was 9:30 to 5:30. He'd wake up and get his morning runs in. So prom comes along, and 11 o'clock is his bedtime. Guess what he does? He goes to prom, but he leaves early so he can make his bedtime. How many high school seniors, high schoolers in general, are going to sacrifice that? Not many. Not many. How many seniors can say they're all-American in high school? Not many. He buttoned up his life so much that he ran 9:18 by himself in the sectional qualifying meet, wire to wire. It wasn't even close, to qualify for the state meet, and he was in the fast heat. He ran a new county record, ran 9:11 in the 2 mile, and that qualified him for New Balance Nationals in the championship race. He ended up running the 5K at New Balance, and he earned his All-American, finished in the top 6 in the country. Skipping senior prom, replaced that with an All-American certificate. Do you think he ever regretted that? No. He's going to remember that feeling of being All-American for the rest of his life. Whereas going to that prom that night and what you're doing afterwards, those memories will fade. It's something that, a memory that lasts a lifetime for something that you might remember bits and pieces of it. That was pretty big for him. I mean, be honest with yourselves, don't answer it, but how many of you would be willing to skip a senior prom? Skip something of that importance to you at that point in your life to really go for something that wasn't yet guaranteed. So, little things and big things can make a huge difference. That was something special that he did. That was quite amazing. So it's the small things that put that picture together to finish it. Now I'm not here to say, I mean, if he went to senior prom, would he have been All-American? I don't know. But 6th place, he made it. 1 second separated him from All-American. With a lap to go, he closed in 61 seconds to become All-American. He wanted it so bad. With 50 meters to go, his eyes were shut, clenching his teeth, just pumping the arms. He ran right into the back of 5th place, right before the line. I have the picture. 5th place and 4th place beat him by less than a half a second. If he opened his eyes, he would have went from 6th to 4th. But he just wanted everything. He poured everything he had. When we're talking a second, maybe that one night of sleep that he wouldn't have gotten would have taken off a second. And that 1 second would have been the difference between All-American and not All-American. You never know how it's going to turn out. So at that moment, he sacrificed who he was, a high school kid, all decked out in his prom gear, all pumped to be there. He sacrificed that at 10 o'clock for who he wanted to become, and that was a champion. That was so he could get in bed. I recommend you guys make the same sacrifices in your own way. It doesn't have to be giving up a prom or whatever. I don't know what your individual circumstances is, but think about what you do and don't ask what's wrong with it. Ask what's right with it. When things get going hard, or when things get hard, you have to have a reason why you keep going. Eric Thomas will say, you have to find your why. Find your reason that keeps going. People ask me, what is your reason why? Why do you keep going on that 6-hour indoor bike ride when you're just pedaling away? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? Everyone's reason for why they keep going is going to be different. Make sure you have a good one. Because when it gets difficult, it is so easy to say, oh, not today. Hit the snooze button. For me, it's my sister. February 25th, she lost her life. She battled brain cancer for 7.5 years. So when I'm on that bike, and I'm 3.5 hours in, I'm like, this sucks. Why am I doing this? I think about my sister. She couldn't escape her pain and her suffering. I do it for her. So find your reason, because that will motivate you. That will make you do things that you didn't think were possible. So find your why. And if you don't have one, do it for the people that can't. There are plenty of people out there that wish they could put one foot in front of the other like they used to, that have been paralyzed, that are sick or ill. Do it for your mom and dad that sacrificed so much for you to be here. That put food on the table, that give you a warm place to sleep at night. Do it for yourself. Do it for your coach to help you get there. Do it for whoever. Those are the reasons that's going to pull you out of bed. Those are the reasons that are going to make you do that extra lap, that extra mile. You guys are in a very physical sport. It is going to hurt. Find your reason why to keep pushing. Because when you don't have any energy left, and you can't take another breath, and your legs are all wobbly, you feel like you can't go anymore, that's exactly when you need to go more. Because if you don't, there's someone else that will take your spot on the podium. You need to have a very strong reason why of you're doing it. That will get you through. So when I'm out there and I feel like I can't go, that's what I think about. That I can. I don't think about how much pain I'm in. I think about that I have the opportunity, that I'm healthy, that I can go and honor my sister this summer, to do things that I don't even think are possible. But I'm going to try. Every one of you has that potential inside of you as well. It's the struggle that makes you better. Failure is just a stepping stone to success. Every single one of you in this room will fail. You will not reach a goal. You will make mistakes, but that's okay. You have to learn from them. You have to use them to make a better version of yourself. Failure is okay. That's how we learn. You will fail. But I've also heard this from someone I don't remember. When you fail, when you fall on your back. Look up. Because if you can look up, you can get up. You have to train your mind to be right. So when I'm thinking things on the bike, things that help me, some favorite motivational quotes. That the most recent Rocky, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's kind of a weird movie. But I like some of the quotes in it. And Rocky Balboa is talking to his son. And what he says, and these words resonate with me, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. That's what he says. So when I'm out there running or trying to do that last rep, I'm not the biggest guy, I'm not the strongest guy, I don't pack a big punch. But I can take a whole heck of a lot, and that's what I keep thinking. It's how much I can take. I'm going to take more than this next person. I'm really hurting, but I can keep taking it on. Think about whatever gets you through. Also, when I'm coaching, I get a little wild and crazy when I'm cheering. Remember the Titans? Anyone seen that? Last year when I was coaching it with some of the athletes, it was just one day in practice, someone was struggling, and I just yelled out real loud, "Left side!" The guy's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I said, "You've never seen Remember the Titans?" He goes, "Oh yeah." So I said, I repeated it again. I said, "Left side!" He looks at me. He goes, "Strong side." I'm like, "Is that all you got?" I said, "Left side!" He goes, "Strong side! Left side! Strong side!" And the reason why I was doing that, because he was hurting in that workout. And then in the race, when he was hurting, guess what I said to him? I mean, I didn't yell it really loud. I did eventually. But he's coming around the corner, he's hurting. And I just look at him, I point right at him, I said, "Left side." And then he lit the words, "Strong side." And you see the light turn on, the fire in his eyes. It's about being hungry. That hunger came back. It's cueing him, and he just ran to a new PR that day. And then as he came around that second lap, then I was really going crazy. I was just yelling left side as loud as I could. I was jumping up and down. Every other coach is thinking like, what is this maniac doing? But it's training the mind, because don't think about how much it hurts. Divert the energy. If you don't have a crazy coach like myself that's out there doing that, you got to do it yourself. When I'm out there on that Ironman course, I don't have anyone yelling. This is the things that I go through. I will be verbally loud out there. I don't care about what other people, what I need to do to get to where I need to be, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me. If that means I'm getting angry at myself and I'm yelling out left side as I'm biking up the bike or biking up the hill, fine, whatever. Other little favorite quotes when I'm out there riding, like sweat, it's fat crying. I laugh at that when I chuckle. Anything that can give me a smile, because the simple act of smiling releases endorphins in your head, and endorphins are what makes you feel good. So if you can think of something that'll make you smile, that can take away some of the pain. Like Dr. Wolf was saying earlier in this clinic, you can only feel one emotion at a time. So if you're getting sad and depressed about yourself or how much it hurts, smile. That can start making you think happy thoughts. So yeah, I get pretty crazy out there. Try to have fun, good time. Just whatever it takes to divert your mind from a bad race. It happens. I do it in practice. I'm out there running with the guys and just blurting off different things. Do that to yourself. You have to train your mind to do that. My college coach, Coach Woods, he gave me a speech. It was called the VOP speech, Voice of Possibilities. When you're in a race, you have to go to your voice of possibilities. That has to be scripted in your head, because your mind naturally wants to go to the VOL, the voice of limitation. The voice of limitation is this big. It's telling you, slow down. You can't hold that pace. This pace is too fast. That guy's too good. It's all these limitations that are mounting up on your shoulder. You need to take that voice of limitation, that VOL, and punch it in its face with that VOP. Whatever that is. If it's a crazy quote that some crazy coach of yours says, like left side to shut that up, or if it's how much I can take and keep moving forward, whatever it is to shut that up, you got to have that. It has to be scripted. As much as we train our physical bodies, we have to train our mind even more, because it's your mind that is what's going to have to take over in that race. You will hurt. If you don't hurt, you're not racing that race correctly. But when you get to that last quarter of the race, when you're racked with fatigue and you feel like you can't go anymore, you have to have those voice of possibilities. You have to have that reason why ingrained in your head. Rehearse those in practice. Because if you haven't done it in practice, you're not going to do it in a meet. So we're running down, we're doing a workout in some development in the neighborhood, and some of the athletes are tying up a little bit. They're struggling, and I'm yelling out their left side. So people are looking out their windows like, what is going on? Rehearse it in practice. Who cares what other people are thinking? I can go apologize to them later if I woke them up or whatever. But I had a good relationship with everyone there. It was all good. But don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and do things a little crazy. Don't be afraid to break the rules. I'm not saying go out and break the law, but don't be afraid to break the rules. You have to know the rules to break the rules, but when you're so racked with fatigue on that workout, you got to know when to keep going and when you have to back off. Listen to your coach on that, but sometimes the rules of science say do this many reps with this much rest. Sometimes it's okay to break them, to say, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to see what I can do today. I'm going to get out of this circle, my comfort zone, because this is where the magic happens, outside of that circle. You have to do that now and then to test your envelope, or to expand your envelope, to break that envelope. Otherwise, you don't know what you're capable of. I'll leave you with one final little story. Some of you may have heard it. It's about a caterpillar and a butterfly. This little boy, he was so excited he found a caterpillar before. He'd never seen one. He puts it up on his arm and he runs inside and said, "Mommy, Mommy, look what I found." And his mom says, "Oh, that's a caterpillar." The little boy says, "Can I keep it?" Mom says, "As long as you take good care of it." So the boy was all excited. He got a glass jar. He put some rocks and some leaves and all sorts of stuff in there for the caterpillar to live. And he watched it every single day. It was his pet. He named it. But then one day, he woke up and he got scared. He went to his mom and said, "Mom, Mom, what happened? What happened?" Mom came in the room. The butterfly was in a cocoon. The boy didn't know what a cocoon was. Mom said, "Oh, this is something special. Wait until your little caterpillar emerges from the cocoon. It's going to be beautiful." So there was one morning, the little boy saw the caterpillar trying to wiggle out of his cocoon. Saw this tiny little hole that this caterpillar was trying to squeeze through. And he loved his caterpillar so much that he ran to his room, grabbed a pair of scissors, and ran back. And, well, he walked back because he was taught not to run with scissors. And through this little hole, he snipped the cocoon to try to free the caterpillar from its struggle, because he saw it struggling so much. And out pops a butterfly. But this was no ordinary butterfly. This butterfly had a very swollen body and very shriveled wings. The mom took him to a scientist to explain to the little boy that indeed this is no ordinary butterfly. It cannot and will not fly ever in its life. Why is that? Because that little tiny hole in that cocoon was there for a reason. That little tiny hole that caterpillar had to force its body through would force fluid in its body into its wings so its wings could fully develop. That little boy cut that hole out to relieve him of his struggle, that now the caterpillar, that butterfly, had a swollen body and shriveled wings. It was that struggle that would have turned out to a beautiful butterfly. So the moral of this story is, it's the struggle that teaches you how to learn to fly. Embrace it. Live through it. Fight through it. And there's just no telling how high you will fly. Thanks for your attention, guys.